Okay, now let's us continue with a chart analysis. I will demonstrate to you how we want to read MACD in the chart analysis. Okay, first thing first, you select any stock that you want to study. Then we select under the indicator tabs a MACD. Okay, if you want to see the setting for this MACD, as usual, we click edit button. Then it will appear this dialog box. Okay, so if you want to change the parameter setting, so in the parameter settings, we can see here, they already by default, the set for a short period is 12, long period 26, signal period is 9 days. Okay, and then rising histogram and this one is falling histogram. So I don't want to make any change in the parameter, so I just use default parameter. So I just apply and close. Okay, so this stock paid ini, what I want to show to you, how we want to use those 3 signal or 3 crossover rules in identifying a buying and selling signal for this stock. Okay, if you remember, what are the first signal or first crossover is the crossover between MACD line and a signal line. So in this case, a signal line is in red color, MACD line is in a blue color. So how we want to indicate a buy signal first? So buy signal when the MACD line crosses above the signal line. So we can see here, over here, okay, so this is a example of buying. So this one also another example of buying. Okay, so this the first crossover rule. When MACD crosses above the signal line, so this indicate a buying signal. When MACD crosses the signal line, also a buying signal. Okay, so how about a selling signal? Selling signal when the MACD line crosses below the signal line. So in this situation, this is a selling signal. Okay, so this one also tapi is only for a temporary. Okay, that one. Okay, that is the first rule, which is we use the comparison or the crossover between MACD and signal line. Okay, then the second one, we can identify buying and selling when the MACD line crosses the zero line. So zero line is in the middle, as we can see here. So in this chart, if you want to see when the MACD line, the blue one, we just focus into the blue color. So when it's give a buy signal, so buy signal is here. Sorry. Can use pencil. Okay. So again, I will do it again. So at this point, okay, at this point, the MACD line crosses the zero line. This is a second selling signal, okay, or the confirmation of bullish period, bullish uptrend, okay. So then for a selling, okay, if you see from the first crossover rule, the selling only appear at this point. But when we take the second rule, which is when MACD line crosses below zero line, so we can see that basically over here it already give a selling signal. Okay. For third crossover rule is by looking into the histogram. So in this case, where is the buying point? So we will look, or we will focus to the histogram only. So let me make it more bigger. So at this point is a buying signal. Okay, why I said a buying signal? Because the histogram turned up below, from below to above zero. Okay, so at this point, if I want to show you, okay, this one is a selling signal. Okay, when the histogram turn down. Okay, so another uses of the histogram is very unique. We can also identifying the strongest, or the forces in the momentum by looking into the pattern of the histogram. Okay, if you can see that the histogram, it started from the small one, and then it increase, bigger, become bigger, bigger, and then it started smaller, smaller. So the decrease in size in the height of this histogram indicate that momentum, or it started lose its momentum, and there is a possibility of change in the direction. Okay, so we have a choice. You have a choice. Either you want to use a crossover between MACD and a signal line, or you want to use the MACD line and the zero line, or you want to use the histogram. Okay, let's see another example. Okay, we use another stock. Maybe we use Paname. Okay. Okay, we look into this current situation. It's very interesting, because previously is a downtrend, and then end of March it started an uptrend. So we want to see either we have the opportunity to invest in the stocks. Okay, first we look into the previous one. Okay, at the previous history for the past about 9 months, 9 month, it shows that a downtrend. So that's why the line is below the zero line. So if the MACD line situated below the zero line, we know that there's no strong buy signal. Okay, then we can see over here, the first signal appear, the first buy signal appear over here when the MACD line, crosses above the signal line. So this is the first signal. So if you not the second signal, okay, if you look into the histogram also turn up, okay, from down to above, from below zero to above zero, turn up. But since we know that this stock is a downtrend, so you may have a doubt that is it purely movement or just a fall signal. So what you can do, if you're not confident with this first signal, okay, what we can do, so we wait until a second signal appear, which is when the MACD crosses the zero line. This is a confirmation of buying signal. So this is one characteristic that I like with the MACD. Why? I can always cross check. Okay, kalau if I'm not confident with the first signal, something because of drastically change in the direction, okay, we afraid that this is only a false signal, so we will wait until a second signal. So if you ask me what are the opportunity that I can see from these stocks, yes, it's still bullish, but whenever you want to make a decision to enter, you need always to check the candle, the current position of the price. For like this Panamai, even though MACD is showing a buy, but the candle show a resting candle. This one we call it as harami. So this one bearish harami. Why bearish? Because it's at the highest point. If something like this, okay, this one is very unique. We can see, okay, I want to make it focus. Okay, this one, a bullish harami. Sorry, again. Okay, this one is bullish harami. This one is bearish harami. Why? Because, okay, this one at the bottom and this one at the top. Okay. So this signal, if you and then if we see the volume, even the volume is higher than previous one, but it shows that selling pressure or selling is stronger than buying pressure. So I will wait for the next day, for tomorrow or another 2-3 days until a correction finish. If it show a positive signal, or if they break the resistance, in this case the resistance is somewhere here, I will take a position. Or if they break this one, this price, this is basically the resistance, they're testing the resistance, this one. Okay, if the price break this R1, they will test this resistance. Okay, so I do hope I make a clear explanation about how we want to use MACD in helping us making decision to buy or to sell. Okay, so that's all for MACD. Thank you very much for your time.